Hi everybody, it's Gemma. Welcome back to Pampered Wolf. Today I am going to embrace my fair skin and do a really beautiful, natural, neutral English rose look with zero bronzer whatsoever, which is completely alien for me because I've got such fair skin. I always feel like without bronzer I look half dead. But I did this look the other day and thought, actually, that is a really pretty look. It's just not what I'm used to. And sometimes it's really good to step outside our comfort zone. So I've got really fair skin, which is absolutely perfect for that English rose look. But you don't have to have fair skin to get away with this look. The English rose look is all about complexion. It's all about looking really natural, like you've woken up, you've got out of bed, you've had a walk in the beautiful English countryside and your cheeks are a little flushed. That sort of look. Wide-eyed, beautiful, natural skin to look like you've got no makeup on whatsoever. Your skin's just glowing and you look naturally beautiful, which, as you can see, is going to be slightly different to how I look now. So let's get on with this look. If you are new here, hi, my name's Gemma. I upload 2 to 3 videos here on YouTube every single week. I'm also on Instagram if you fancy coming over and following me over there. It's at Pampered Wolf, all lowercase, no spaces. And I would really appreciate it if after this video you've liked what you've seen, you come and join the Pampered Wolf Pack. We are an extremely friendly, helpful bunch. Click on that subscribe button and also the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Let's get on with this. Exciting! So basically, I'm not going to emphasize one part of my face really. It's all about complexion and about pink cheeks and making it subtle so that it looks completely natural, which is actually more often than not more difficult than it seems. But I'm going to start off with the complexion and go for a foundation that I can sheer out with a blending sponge so that it doesn't look like foundation on my skin. Now, instead of going for my usual Chantecaille, which I know is out of a lot of people's price ranges, I've gone for my second favourite in my best of 2020, which is the DIOR Forever Skin Glow, which is again pricey, but it's like, I don't know, a third of the price of the Chantecaille, so I thought I'd use this one today. I've gone for the shade 0N, which is my closest shade match in DIOR. And I'm going to apply this with a damp blending sponge just so it looks a little more skin-like. I can build it up in places if I need that extra coverage, but really the purpose of using foundation in this look is just to even out the skin tone. I absolutely love this foundation. If you haven't tried this already, it's amazing. Absolutely great for anybody with dry skin like I've got, but it is scented, so if you struggle with scented products, you're probably going to want to give this one a miss, but I absolutely love it. So I'm applying this where I need to even out my skin tone and then I'm blending it out. It doesn't have an even layer of coverage all over my skin. I'm basically just applying it where I need it and then blending it to the edges. Just looks more natural that way. So I'm just going to carry on pounding my damp blending sponge over the areas to make sure that I haven't got too much foundation on my skin, that it's perfectly blended out and it looks really beautiful and natural and glowy on my skin. You get this stage wrong, the whole look falls to pieces. So then I'm going to take a brush and take a bit more of the foundation. This is from Real Techniques and it's the Deluxe Crease Brush. It's great for anything like foundation on the eyelids, concealer underneath the eyes. It's the perfect size. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of the foundation on my eyelids. I'm going to allow this to dry down and then I'm going to powder this in place. Now, because I don't want anything too heavy underneath my eyes and I don't want to look too perfect, the colour corrector that I'm going to use is a very lightweight colour corrector. This is a highlighter actually, and it's from MAC. This is the MAC Prep and Prime in the shade Bright Forecast. It's my mum's personal favourite. She absolutely swears by this, and I'm just going to apply a little bit underneath each eye and then go in with exactly the same brush that I just used on my eyelids and just pop that where I need it. This is really, really reflective, and it also, because it's got that little peachy tone, it helps to conceal your dark circles. I don't want to conceal every single last bit of my dark circles because that wouldn't look natural. Most people have dark circles of some sort. So I'm paying close attention to get the MAC Prep and Prime underneath the eyelashes because I'm not going to put any concealer underneath there. This is really, really lightweight, so it blends into the skin absolutely beautifully, and it's actually quite hydrating as well. So for concealer today, I'm actually ditching my favourite Pat McGrath Labs concealer. This is a really full coverage concealer, and although I absolutely adore it, it's not right for this look. I'd probably be able to sheer it out enough, but it would take effort, and you know, I'm lazy. So I've gone for my favourite, more natural concealer, which is the Bare Minerals Bare Skin Concealer. This is so, so beautiful. You can build it up to full coverage, but it's more of a sheer to medium concealer, and it's perfect for this look. So I'm just going to dab a little bit on my dark circles where I need the coverage, and I'm going to go straight in with my blending sponge to make sure that it's beautifully blended and it's not too much coverage. Absolutely perfect. Looks really natural. It's a great fit for this look. You can build up the coverage if you want to, but I think I'm going to leave it like that. So I'm going to move on to brows while I let that concealer sink into my skin and dry down. I'm not going to do this on camera. I've done this so many times on my channel before. I will be using the NYX Microbrow pencil in the shade Ash Brown, my favourite of all time. And to set my brows in place and to lift them slightly, I'm going to be using the 24-hour brow setter from Benefit. I talk about these in my ultimate full face of 2020 favourites, so I will link that up here for you if you want to have a look how I do my brows on a daily basis. It's in that video, so I'm going to go off camera and I'll be right back. So although I ditched my favourite Pat McGrath Labs concealer, I am not ditching my favourite Pat McGrath powder, which is just unbelievable. It adds a bit of brightness underneath the eyes as well as blurring out all imperfections. So I'm going to take my damp blending sponge. You can apply this with your fingers, you can apply it with a brush, but I prefer this method. And I'm just pressing that where I need it. This stuff is just so good. Look at the difference already. Really brightening, and it just blurs everything out. So then I'm going to take some of my number 7 Perfect Light Loose Powder, which is a phenomenal powder for setting everything in place. It's really lightweight, it doesn't look like you've got a powder on your skin, and it does have a slight pinky hue to this, which really works for this look. So before I apply that, I'm just going to go over my eyelids again, just to make sure that all the foundation that I applied to my eyelids is smooth, it hasn't sank into any of my eyelid folds. Then I'm going to take a little brush with a tiny bit of the powder on it and just set my foundation on my eyelids in place, as well as applying it underneath the brow bone so that if I do go for a walk or I do get a little bit hot, my mascara doesn't transfer onto that area. need to keep that dry. Really, really pretty powder this. It just doesn't look like you've got any powder on your skin, which is the sort of powder that I really like. Then I'm going to add a lick of mascara. The mascara that I've chose to use today is the Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes Mascara from Charlotte Tilbury. I really like this. It keeps my lashes separated. It makes them look really, really beautiful and long. So I'm just going to add 1 to 2 coats of the mascara. So next I'm going to go on to lips, and I am in love with this next product. I only actually had it delivered on Friday and I've just been non-stop using it ever since. It's the most beautiful product. It's limited edition and it's from NARS. I have this in 2 different shades. This one is called All Yours and this one is called Chaser. They are gorgeous. These are the Air Matte lip colours and they're just beautiful. My lips are very dry at the moment. I am not frightened using these matte liquid lips. I would normally be a usual liquid lip. I would probably avoid them if my lips were this dry. Definitely not these. These leave a bit of a silky sheen on the surface of the skin. You can't see it, but you can definitely feel it's there and it feels really moisturizing and really hydrating. These are super lightweight, but they are also super pigmented. So you would think I would go for the pink one in this instance. I'm actually not. I'm gonna go for the more neutral brown color today. All will become clear. I want all the focus to be on the cheeks rather than the lips. So I'm gonna go for this shade today. And I'm gonna take the majority of the product off the applicator. And I'm gonna line my lips exactly the same way, but using the liquid lip as I did in my How to Make Your Lips Look Plumper video. If you didn't see that, I will link it up here for you and also in the description box so you can watch it a little bit later on. If you have relatively thin lips and you want to make them look plumper, it's definitely worth a watch. So you can use a lip liner if you want to overline the lips. I don't feel like that's necessary, and like I said before, I am lazy. If I can skip a step, I definitely will. I love these. These are just so, so pretty, and I've no idea how they've made a matte liquid lip as hydrating as it actually is. I don't care. I really don't care, but I'm really grateful that they have. The final product to bring this entire look together has to be blush. This has to be really glowy and youthful and just give you that very natural flushed look, like you've just been for a walk outside and it's really cold and you come in and your all cheeks are rosy, that sort of thing. I'm going to use another product from NARS. This is one of their products in the multiple range. You can use this on your cheeks, you can use this on your eyes, and it's in the shade Orgasm, which is really, really beautiful. It's got those pinky tones in there, but it's also quite neutral. It's not overly pink. So I'm actually just going to pop this on my cheeks and then use my fingertips to really blend that out. This does have a shimmer to it. This is really reflective. It's got highlighting particles in here as well, which will really draw attention to the cheeks. But if you're one of those people that doesn't want to draw attention to any large pores, I would definitely recommend that you don't put it on your large pores because, you know, this does have a bit of a sparkle to it. Look how pretty that is. I'm going to keep on applying this until I get the desired effect. Let me show you what it can look like with a brush. I'm using my Refa 04 brush and I'm just patting that on the end of the product and then just stippling that on the cheeks. Really, really easy. It just blends out effortlessly. And you can just keep on reapplying until you get the effect that you want. So because this is quite a shimmery product, I'm staying away from this area here. I'm actually going to use a powder product there. I'm going to use 2 different blushes for this look. So this is the first one. You can apply this one second if you feel like you'd prefer to do that. You can use the powder product first and then the cream product second. I prefer to apply more of the cream product and less of the powder, and I just feel like if you apply the powder first, you tend to apply more powder than you do cream. And I just feel like a cream product really does make this look pop. So once I'm done with my cream blush from NARS, I'm going to take a little bit of my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush in the shade Luminous Flush. I'm going to take a very similar brush. I'm going to knock off every single last bit of excess. I hardly want any on my brush whatsoever. And I'm just going to dust that down the sides of my nose in triangular motions and just brush a little bit on the bridge of my nose because I just want that flushed outdoorsy look. And then I'm going to pop a little bit just around the perimeter of my forehead. Very little bit. Very, very little bit. I just want that flushed look. I don't want a sunburnt look. The sunburnt look can look very pretty in the summer months, but just for the English rose look, I want it to be very, very subtle. Really, really pretty. A little bit more on the temples, and then with whatever's left on my brush, I'm just going over right underneath the eye and then stippling that in place, just over the larger pore area where I didn't want to apply any of the sparkly cream blush. I'm gonna add a little bit to my chin as well. It's just such a pretty, glowy, girly look, this. I'm quite excited, and there's not a bit of bronzer in sight. This has really given me the confidence to go without bronzer a lot more often, because although I loved that bronze, more defined look, I also really love this fresh, girly look as well. So, I don't know, what do you think? Let me know. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope to see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.